allow me to share screen? Yeah. It just says host disabled participant share screen. Let's look at this together then.
All right, that meeting is called to order at 5:02. First, before we get going, I noticed there was a change in the identification of the committee members from the draft agenda to the one we have now. So before we call the roll, I want to make sure that we have this designation correct for committee members. Because I have here a draft vacant community at large Seaside. And now Kurt Overmeyer is listed up as that in the agenda.
So he did let me know at the last meeting, there was a correction, be Seaside and not Monterey, and that was a change made.
Okay, let me make sure that.
And
So that's correct. So the vacancy is community at large Monterey.
correct. It doesn't have to be Monterey, just at large.
There's no requirement that it has to be from a
Right.
particular
There's
city,
nothing in the education code, but it's something that.
but we identified if a community member is from a certain community, we identify, or a committee member.
Okay. Very good. Right, you call the roll, please.
Yes. Chair Kevin Dayton,
Here.
Erica Graham. Ben Beasley,
Here.
Ashika Shadeo. Vice Chair Adam Gonzalez
Here.
and Kurt Obermeyer.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Excellent, thank you. This is the opportunity where members of the public can speak for 3 minutes on matters not on the agenda, and I see no one from the public here, so we can move on to review and adopt minutes of the June 7th, 2023 meeting. I read them over. I didn't see anything that needed to change. Did anybody else take a look?
My name is Michelle.
Have you got corrections? Beasley?
PWSWI.
Good catch. I'll give everybody 30 seconds to look at it. Okay, you have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any other comments, discussion? All right, let's do a roll call on that.
Chair Kevin Dayton,
Aye.
Erica Graham. Mr. Ben Beasley.
Aye.
Ashika Shadeo. Vice Chair Adam Gonzalez.
Here. Oh, hi, sorry. Yes.
Mr. Kurt Obermeyer.
Hi.
Motion passes.
Very good. Review financials for measure operating project updates April 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2023. Brian will pass you for staff presentation.
So as you're probably familiar at this point, we'll review the fiscal activity for 1 quarter at a time. This quarter is for that we are looking at, let's speak here, but this is from April to June of 23. And then the second part of this is we'll look at the actual warrant activity. So you'll look at the information in 2 different ways. So the first part that we're going to look at is we're just going to go down the actual expenses by projects, and if you typically are how we've done this in the past is each person can give a few minutes or a few seconds to review each page, go page by page. If you have questions, feel free to raise your hand and let us know as we go along through the report. Is it any other clarification or background information needed for this report from any of the committee members before we start? Okay.
All right, let's begin. Starting with a slide with a number 1 in the upper left-hand corner. I have it here as page 4, starting with Bayview School HVAC engineering. First page, let's review.
I'd like to make a quick comment.
Yes,
You're going to see a lot of HVAC engineering with parentheses, $2,065.21.
yes,
So that expense was moved out of the bond, and the reason is because we got a Department of G grant. And once the grant came in, we moved those expenses out of the bond over to the grant.
excellent. Well, congratulations for getting that grant, and that gives us more money for other things. I did see that come up on the school board meeting last year. It was pleased to see that. Okay, very good. Thank you for explaining that. Any other questions on page 4? Okay, moving on to page 5. Any questions? Page 6. Any questions? Actually, I have a question on layer number 2 where it says build back project. Is that related to federal funding? Like, what is a build back project?
It's just something we called it internally because is La Mesa Elementary School is a former military school or was built by the military. So there's a lot of asbestos and those sorts of things in there. So we actually had to deconstruct the classroom and then build it back to do some.
Okay.
So that's just kind of how we label
Okay,
it.
so it's not related to any build back program.
No.
All
Absolutely.
right, any questions about page 6? Page 7. Any questions? Page 8. Any questions?
Just one question, what work was done on the field? There almost every day and I didn't notice anything.
Are you talking about the $26.25?
No, the 17,000 on Monterey. Line 37.
We will look at those when we look at the warrant report.
Okay.
So we'll have like a breakdown to vendor. I'm assuming those are probably legal fees.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Watch out for those. Any questions on page 8 besides that? Page 9. Any questions? Page 10. Any questions? All right, we're done with that item. Next, review warrant activity for Measure I, April 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2023.
So this will be the fiscal activity broken down, so the warrants, so these are actually payments made to individual consultants, contractors, any particular individual or company that worked on a project, so it's broken down by contractor or entity, and then it also has the project for which they were paid, which project they worked on. So they answer the question when we get to the Monterey High project, you'll see what encompass that 17,000.
All right, let's begin with page 12. Any questions? Page 13. Any questions? Page 14. Any questions? Page 15. Any questions? Page 16. Any questions? Page 17. Can we get any more specifics on what a construction cost is? You'll see here, main construction. The construction costs $638,628.63, as described as construction costs.
So that's the contractor that's working on the Delray Woods modernization. So those are just for that particular, so that's for Asanio Incorporated. So that's for their work on that particular modernization project.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to.
So you're just paying them for
Correct. Yeah.
contractual work. Okay. Page 18. Any questions? Page 19. Any questions? Page 20. Any questions? Page 21. Any questions? Page 22. Any questions?
Same story, technology costs, what's instruction costs?
No, so this is for, these are all under, what is that, assuming that's CDW, is that the? Yeah, so these are all under the CDW expenditures for these projects. So this is the vendor CDWs where we procure various technology related items. So these are those items that were related to those particular projects. So you'll see like CDW on page 20.
Yeah.
And then these are all the projects in which CDW we were, they were expensed for those projects. So for example, the first one on page 20, we have Dual Language Academy, those are security cameras. So they provided us the security cameras for that project.
Okay, so that's the total cost for
For that,
installation and parts and,
for the
And
equipment.
equipment, yeah. or just for the equipment only?
For this particular one, it is for the equipment.
Oh, okay.
Any questions on page 22? Page 23. Any questions? Page 24. Any questions? Page 25. Any questions? Page 26. Any questions? Page 27. All that, any questions? Page 28. Any questions? Page 29. Any questions? Page 30. Any questions? Page 31. Any questions? Page 32. Any questions? Page 33. Any questions? Page 34. Any questions? Page 35. Any questions? Page 36. Any questions? Page 37. Any questions? Page 38. Any questions? What does Hancock Park and Along do?
Hancock Park and DeLong is a firm that we use to help us go after state eligibility money for modernizations, hardship, those sorts of things. You'll see that applications from time to time that go to the board through OPSC, where we have eligibility or construction eligibility matching funds from the state. And they go after, make sure that we get in line, we're doing all the proper paperwork. To this date, I think several millions of dollars they've recovered for us, or they were able to get for us.
Do they help you with grants? It's like a grant.
It's grants, but it's basically through the state, the facilities program, through the bond. You may see the state bonds. We
Yep.
give matching funds to them.
Okay. Got it, page 39. Any questions? Page 40. Any questions? Page 41.
Here's where
Yep.
you're gonna see your 17,000.
Yeah, I saw that. Do we have a running total for how much money Ms. Erickson has cost the community?
I don't have that off the top of my head, no, but we can get that. The last time we totaled that up, but we can do that. It's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So more than 200?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, well,
It was almost $1 million last.
yeah,
That's just more than just the separate fees, right?
I
Yes.
think we printed something out last fiscal year, but nothing so far this year.
Okay,
But I think you're new, so you may not have seen that.
I did see it.
Oh, did
I just like to,
We did it 1 or 2 meetings ago.
yeah, if we could keep a running total, I would really appreciate that. So
We'll see it, it's, I want to be careful that we're operating within the parameters of this committee. So, but I definitely can provide it to you as kind of like a side letter. I don't know, we'll present it in any kind of formal document because it's nothing to review, but I could definitely provide that to you kind of as a group.
Great, thank you.
you. Any other questions on page 41? Page 42. Any questions? Page 43. Any questions? Page 44. Any questions? Page 45. Any questions?
No, I do want to give staff some props here. I keep seeing these architectural fees that are, having been through projects complying with the state of California as, state architects, you guys are getting a real bargain. Good work.
Thank you. Yes.
Hey,
You're very familiar with that process, then.
Page 46. Any questions? Page 47. Any questions?
I have one, oh, sorry, go ahead, keep on. I'm not there, you're not there yet.
Okay.
Yes.
48 to that. By the way, if anybody had any questions about, I thought you were gonna ask about Monterey County Weekly, this is a requirement that they have to advertise.
Oh,
So
no,
both the public know about that. They don't see the ads in there, so they're getting published. Page 48. Any questions? Page 49.
yeah, on the last item. Do you have any sense of what was done there? Is that all asbestos remediation?
We're looking at Marina Vista Elementary Campus modernization.
Yeah,
I have to pull up that exact PO, but it's part of the. So no, we're doing some modernization work there. I don't know exactly what that demolition is. Typically, if it's like abatement, it will be called out separately. We'll say.
yeah, I just saw the Monterey Environmental Solutions for 125,000, and that's something that big is typically tenacious asbestos, and I just was curious what was happening there.
Yeah, and this could be that, it could be, lead paint removal. There was some painting that we did, so like I said, it more than likely the age of our schools, there's asbestos almost everywhere. So we abate it as we go along, or we do construction projects.
Thank you.
You got page 15. Any questions? Page 51. Any questions? Page 52. Any questions? Actually, a question on 52. Did PG&E take care of that utility work in a timely manner?
Well.
It's a big long list.
Yes, PG&E is an agency, they operate very much like a government agency, so I don't think anything moves particularly quick, but they are inundated. There is a lot of delays with various projects. They do work with us. We have a lot of open projects, but I would say that we have timelines and deadlines. I don't know that we meet most of those with PG&E just because there's a lot of delays. So you're asking about, this is the Crumpton Elementary?
Yes.
And the answer is no, we're still waiting for some work for that.
I just want to point out that I have a good friend that is the economic development person for SMUD, for the Sacramento Municipal Utility District, and every time I see a delay from PG&E, I send it to him. And he always comes back with somewhere between 1/10 and 1/20 of the time schedule for PG&E. That's my,
I can imagine. Yeah, PG&E, when we have a lot of projects, this area is a little bit, you know, I think getting crews and they contract out a lot, but yeah, we do see quite often projects are delayed with PG&E.
yeah, I just think as a community, we should probably raise our expectation from our local utility, being able to accommodate business and public entities.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong, if you have a project that's being, delayed and having cost increases because of PG&E delays, tell the school board that it's going on. This has gone on all over California,
Right.
it's been.
And they do work with us. We have contacts, but,
Okay.
you know, like, it is definitely a challenge for sure.
Moving on to page 53. Any questions? Page 54. Any questions? Page 55. Any questions? Page 56. Any questions? Page 57. Any questions? Page 58. Any questions? Page 59. Any questions? Page 60. Any questions? Page 61. Any questions? Page 62. Any questions? Page 63. Any questions? Page 64. Any questions? Page 65. Any questions? There's a hazardous waste removal. Page 66. Any questions? Page 67. Any questions?
One quick question. Who typically does the inspections on these? Is it always this consultant or is there a? Does the state of California have building inspectors that?
For the,
Are you doing the?
for hazardous materials,
To get things faster?
for the hazardous material removal. Is it-
Well, it doesn't really identify what the inspections are for. It just says C6 inspections. And I don't, from experience that a lot of times you can hire out a building inspector outside of the normal jurisdictional response.
Yeah, I see, I understand the
Yeah.
questions. Yes, for school districts, we don't have typical building inspectors, so we're under the authority of DSA, Division of State Architects. So on those projects, we hire what's called inspector of record. So they inspect on behalf to make sure the plans and everything are done up to code on behalf, and then they report on the projects. For environmental, we hire third-party environmental observers. So when they were doing, asbestos removal or any kind of hazardous waste, they observe that, then they also report to the state.
Thank you.
I see that expense at $7,000 in the project itself. The total expenses were $920,000. So,
Yeah, it's not outlandish or anything. I just was. To know what the process of the schools were, if DSA had building inspectors or.
Yeah, they don't employ them directly, like I said, they're third parties that do the inspection and report back.
Thank you.
and questions on page 67, 68. Any questions? 69. Any questions? 70. Any questions? 71. Any questions? 72. There's that $26.25 for Monterey High School athletic field. County clerk filing fee. Related to
Yeah, that was the EAR.
what?
That was the recertification for the EAR.
Oh, okay.
So. The notice.
I remember we got the printout for the last fiscal year. We had you divided it into legal expenses and environmental expenses. That would be good to do that again. That would, I'm assuming, be an example of an environmental expense.
Right. It's all under the legal fees realm. As far as like what you've seen in here, but yes, there are different vendors that are associated with that.
Page 73. Any questions? Page 74. Any questions? Page 75. That's the last one. In your grand total of 19.5 million.
Motion to that.
Actually, we don't adopt it, we just review it.
Okay, all right.
We do it.
That's for the annual.
Yeah, we adopt the.
Gotcha.
Once,
Okay.
and that go to the school board. Future meeting dates, our next one is December 6th, 2023. Does anybody have any problems with that?
December 6th.
Is that our only date that we have set?
That's the only day we have set, and then we'll set the calendar for the following year.
I will not be here, but that's on that day.
We'll just have to.
We'll keep it months.
Make sure we get enough people for a forum. Committee member comments. The only comment I have is looks like we've got the senior citizens vacancy still in place. And another vacancy to be filled, preferably by somebody from Monterey.
And there is a ad that was placed in the paper. I haven't received any responses as of yet.
Anybody else have any committee member comments?
I have a question on that one. Can it be someone who works for the school district?
I believe that, no,
No. Okay. So I had a suggestion, but I realized that might. A college level teacher.
I think they just have to be.
I know they have their own
open
boards.
about it.
They meet like 12 times a year.
Well, we can get back. I want to make sure what this item wasn't agendized. We don't want to,
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I just was curious.
but we can get you the criteria. We'll send that to the.
Yeah, just, you know.
Any other comments? We're adjourned at 5:31 PM. Thank you.